A $300 million US drone has just been destroyed. At first, this sounds like a single incident. One system lost in a high-tension region. But that's not the real story. Because what was taken down here wasn't just a drone. It was a critical part of a much larger intelligence network. These systems are designed to observe, track, and understand everything happening below. They provide real-time awareness, they reduce uncertainty, and they allow decisions to be made with precision. So when one of these assets disappears, something important is lost. Iran claims it used its air defense systems to bring it down. If that's true, then this is not just a technical event. It's a signal that even high-value, high-altitude systems are not out of reach. And that changes the perception of control. Because in modern strategy, visibility is power. And losing visibility creates risk that goes far beyond the initial event. Now consider the cost. Systems like this are not cheap. They can reach hundreds of millions of dollars. And that's just the financial side. The real value lies in what they carry. Advanced sensors, surveillance capability, continuous monitoring. So when one is destroyed, the loss is not just material. It's informational. You lose the ability to see clearly. To track moves. Track movements to anticipate actions. And that forces a shift because now decisions must be made with less certainty. At the same time, there is a message being sent. By targeting such a system, Iran is demonstrating capability. It is showing that advanced surveillance is not immune, that even high-tech advantages can be challenged. And that creates a new level of tension. Because once that assumption is broken, it is everything becomes less predictable. This is where the situation becomes more complex. Modern operations depend heavily on information. Knowing where threats are, understanding movements, maintaining awareness at all times. If that layer is disrupted, the entire structure becomes weaker. And that's why this event matters beyond the immediate region. Other countries are watching carefully because it suggests something important. That technological superiority is not absolute. That expensive systems can be neutralized. And that control can be contested. This introduces uncertainty into a system that depends on precision. And once uncertainty increases, risk follows. So the real question is not just what was destroyed. It's what this reveals about the current balance of power. Because if systems like this can be taken down, then the foundations of modern surveillance may be more fragile than they appear. But there's another layer to this, and this is where things get more serious. Because incidents like this are rarely isolated. They test reactions, they measure responses, and they push boundaries without triggering full-scale conflict. This is what makes the situation dangerous, because each side is trying to gain an advantage without crossing the line into open war. And that creates a constant state of pressure, a space where every move matters. Now imagine this happening repeatedly, not once, but multiple times. Each event slowly increasing tension, each response becoming more difficult. At that point, the situation changes. It's no longer about a single drone. It's about a pattern that signals shifting control. And growing uncertainty. So the real question is not whether this will escalate immediately. It's whether this is part of something bigger, a gradual change in how power is tested and how far each side is willing to go. I'll record, because in situations like this, It's not the first incident that matters. It's what comes next. And this is what makes this moment important, because it shows something that often goes unnoticed. Control is not absolute. Even the most advanced systems, have limits. And once those limits are tested, the balance begins to shift. What looks like a small incident, can actually be part of a larger pattern. A pattern where pressure is applied step by step, carefully. Deliberately. Such as I saw this isn't so, without triggering an immediate escalation. And that's what makes it difficult to respond. So, what is because reacting too strongly creates risk, but not reacting allows the pressure to continue. So every decision becomes more complicated. Like Use said, and every move carries weight, which brings us back to the real question, not what happened. But what it means going forward. Because if this is part of a larger strategy, then this is not the end of the story. It's just the beginning.